welcome to another video. This video is going to be all about government in the 13 colonies. The first and most important thing you need to know about how our government develops in the 13 colonies is how far we are from our mother country, England. So you guys hopefully know that England, also known as the United Kingdom or Great Britain, is located in Europe. It's an island nation. It's across the Atlantic Ocean from North America and the 13 colonies. The distance is over 4,000 miles. Today, you can take this journey in a 6-hour airplane ride. In the 16 and 1700s that we're studying, this is going to be a sailing ship ride that's going to take you between 6 weeks and 3 months to make that journey. So that distance becomes an important piece that help us answer this question: how does representative self-government develop in the colonies? The representative self-government that developed in the colonies is actually the self-government we have today in the United States. We call it a democracy, where we govern ourselves through voting for representatives. So how did we get started? Well, it starts kind of with a seed, and that seed, like you just saw in the map, is our distance from England. We were so far away, even though England controlled the colonies. Technically, they owned the colonies. England had trouble controlling us from that distance of 4,000 miles. Well, that distance starts to grow roots, so this seed becomes even deeper. So we have our distance from England, but then we have something else that's going to be called salutary neglect. So these two roots, distance and salutary neglect, are going to develop into representative government. Salutary neglect is really about the colonies being neglected, the King of England ignoring the needs of the colonies. We learned last week the king wants to use the colonies for profit and economics, making profit off of those cash crops, plantations, transatlantic slave trade. But the king doesn't want to be bothered with having to deal with the problems in the colonies, having to figure out how the colonies should set up their laws. So the king is going to neglect the colonies. Well, because of this distance and salutary neglect, make sure I spell it right, we are going to start to develop our own type of government here in the colonies. And our own type of government is found in 3 important documents. The first one we're going to look at is called the Mayflower Compact, named after the boat that the Pilgrims came over. This is our first form of self-government in the colonies. You're also going to have something called the Virginia House of Burgesses. This is our first representative legislator in the colonies. So this is the first time people in North America vote for a representative to lead them and be their leader. Previous to that, in England, you don't get to vote for anybody. The king just is your ruler, and his son is your next king, and the next son is the next king. All right, and the last one is going to be called the Fundamental Orders of Connecticut. I'm just going to abbreviate the FOC. This is our first written constitution where we actually write down the laws and the organization of government. All right, so this week you're going to find out all about how that distance and that salutary neglect from England is going to lead us to create our own representative self-government in the colonies, which will inspire our Declaration of Independence and our Constitution and the system of government we have today.